and welcome to the Thermo-Gourmand Kitchen. My name is Megan Tuffley and I'm a Thermomix consultant down here in beautiful Albany on the south coast of Western Australia. I do have customers all over Australia, so I'm absolutely happy to be a virtual consultant. So if you don't have a consultant, please reach out, I'd love to help you. Today I'm going to be making my hummus. Now hummus, most people will consider hummus to be more Greek or Lebanese or something like that, but it actually originated in Egypt. So it's more, and actually hummus means chickpeas in Arabic, believe it or not. So it's a Middle Eastern dish. Chickpeas have been around since the 13th century in the Middle East. They're very, very popular. They're high protein. So they make a fabulous, healthy dip. And you can do so much with hummus. You can add so many things, and I'll talk about that later on. But today I'm going to use, there's quite a few recipes on Cookie Dough. I'm going to use the one that I prefer, so I'm going to my week. You can see I made sous vide scrambled eggs this morning. Now, if you haven't tried sous vide scrambled eggs, give it a go. It does take some time, but my gosh, it's worth it. So, we're doing hummus right now. And start cooking. 250 grams of chickpeas, cooked or canned. Now, if you're going to cook your own chickpeas, you'll need to cook them for an awfully long time to get them nice and soft. And you'll probably need to take the skins off, which will take a fair bit of time. Convenience-wise, I use canned chickpeas, and I use this brand because they're Australian, the company is Australian, and the chickpeas are Australian. And they're nice. So, first of all, 250 grams of chickpeas. Now, I've drained these, but I didn't throw away the aquafaba. That's the liquid that comes from the chickpeas. You can use that to make vegan meringue. Yes, and I think there's a recipe on Cookie Dough for that. So, it's a really, really great product to have, so don't waste it. I have saved 60 grams, quarter of a cup of it, because I'm going to use it in the mixture. It helps to soften the chickpeas. We want them really smooth and yummy. Okay. Oh, 269, that's good. Usually around 250 by the time they're drained. And next, now I'm not using water. I'm using ice because ice breaks up the chickpeas. They are fibrous, and I want them really, 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 really smooth. So I'm going to add my, first of all, 60 grams or so of the aquafaba and my ice. And I don't use 150 grams either because it makes it a bit too sloppy. I like it quite thick. So we'll see how much. We'll probably add about 120. So, yeah. About that, I think, I've only got 2 little ice blocks left. We'll see how that goes. So 125 grams of liquid altogether. Now that's not the only liquid because it has lemon juice as well. So lemon juice, and it's a fairly wide range here, 50 to 70 grams. I think I've gone somewhere in the middle, which is probably about, I've got it nearly 70. Probably about a lemon and a half. And it depends how juicy your lemons are, of course. Freshly squeezed, no doubt. Tahini paste. Now keep your tahini upside down in the cupboard so that when you turn it up, the oil is going to be, on the bottom. And that's going to make it easier to stir because it does separate. It will separate, and you'll find if you have it the right way up, all the thick paste is at the bottom and it makes it too hard to mix up. So keep it upside down. I'm going about 80 grams. If you put a lot in, it can be a bit bitter. So let's just go, that'll do. Oh, look at that, pretty good. 80 grams. And next we've got 1 to 2 garlic cloves. I don't like the raw garlic in my hummus, so what I did is I threw a whole bulb of garlic in the oven on about 200 with a little bit of olive oil. I just put it in a little foil dish, little pie dish, and roasted it. And so I've got this gorgeous, gorgeous roasted garlic, and I'm going to use the whole lot. It's really mild. Oh, I need another spoon. Once it's roasted, it's beautiful and buttery. So I'm going to throw that in. And next, I'm not going to add salt. I'm going to add salt when it's finished, because I think you need to taste it and decide how much salt you want, because the chickpeas are salted. Now it says to insert the spatula, so we can do that. Remember, the spatula's got this bit on here, so when you do insert it to help anything mix around, it's not going to touch the blades. It's going to be very noisy because of the ice. And we're going speed 7 for a minute. So that's going to be quite noisy. I just had it flicked up a little bit and I had a taste, and it does need salt. Okay, so I'm going to scrape down the lid. Look at that lovely, creamy, delicious paste dip. Oh, it is very, very smooth. It looks fabulous. Now, with this recipe, I think it says to put your cumin and paprika in afterwards, which I don't do. I like to put my cumin in now. It's half a teaspoon. I do actually decorate with the paprika later, but I like the cumin in the hummus. So we're going again. You can see it's pretty good. That's the ice. That's the ice helping it break up. I don't think we need 30 seconds. I reckon 15 is fine. On speed 7. Done. Look at that. It's just fabulous. Oh, things you can do with hummus. You can make so many different flavored hummus dips. Now, what about adding a beetroot, a roasted beetroot for beetroot hummus? Roasted sweet potato, roasted pumpkin. What about leftover roasted vegetables? Or boiled vegetables? Use up your leftovers. What about adding, hang on, oh yes, roasted red capsicum. Yum. So this is a basis for so many different flavors that you can use. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to add some salt. It does need the salt. And I'll just give it a little whiz with my spatula. You can make this fancy schmancy, really fancy schmancy. Whatever. A beautiful bowl. Pop in your, I'll just pop this down so you can see what I'm doing. Pop this in. Look at that, yum. Oh, this is beautiful. Now, I'm not going to decorate mine today because we're going away in the caravan. I'm going to freeze my hummus in little Ziploc bags and pull it out when we're stopped at various places and we like a little bit of nibbles and a drink. Most people, what you would normally do is this swirly thing and you put olive oil in. Now, I didn't put olive oil in it. That was in the recipe too. Oh well, never mind. I don't think it needs it. Tahini's got enough oil in it. So what I do to really make it fancy, and I'll show you a photo, I think I've put the photo on there before, is I use pomegranate arils, sprinkle those on, then chopped up mint, because mint goes beautifully with it, pine nuts, toasted pine nuts, and something else. What else do I do? Oh, that's right. I quite often have another can of chickpeas and I add some passata and some preserved lemon, right, and just the rind. Now, if you don't have preserved lemon, it's not hard to make. And it has that Middle Eastern flavour. You just use the rind. I chop it up, put it in the passata with some cumin, and then I add the chickpeas to that, and I just dot them around in little clumps. It just makes it look so fancy. And then the pièce de résistance is pomegranate molasses. Just, you know, swirled over the platter. Or if you haven't got that because it's quite expensive, I've had mine for years, use the balsamic glaze, caramelized balsamic, and swirl that across. Looks fabulous, really does, and it tastes delicious. Now I've got my yummy tortillas. These are the tortillas I made when I did a live earlier, and I've just done chips from them by putting olive oil on, spraying it on, and then brushing it to make sure they're covered, popping in the oven for about 10 minutes or so, about 180, and I just turned them over, did a little bit of oil on the other side and baked them and then broke them up. You could cut them up first into triangles and do it that way, but this is quite rustic. I like the way this is done. So, hummus. Look, yum. I'm just going to try it. That is super delicious. I'll pop my hints and tips for my hummus below this video, and I'll also put the video on my YouTube channel. Now, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, especially TM6 owners, because I've been putting up videos, just quickie ones, very quick, showing you the modes on the TM6. Now the modes are just so underutilized. People seem to forget that you can swipe left. Swipe left. You've got 14 modes here, and they're all really good in their own way. Now, check out my videos on YouTube. Something else I want to tell you. Yeah, if you've invited two friends to watch this live with you, this qualifies as a demo, and you could earn host rewards like the blade cover, and until August 1st, the black 2.6 litre thermo server. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And that, I believe, is free. So this one you would get half price. I believe that the thermoserver is free regardless. So I have to check up on that. But do follow me on my Facebook page, Thermo Gourmand, and my YouTube channel. Check out my recipe blog and reach out if you need any help, if you need a consultant, if yours is disappeared, or you don't have one, or you've never had one. Perhaps you've bought your Thermomix directly from the Thermomix Australia and you don't have a consultant. It's really, really helpful to have a consultant, and I'd love to help you out. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to enjoy my hummus.